Is your business struggling to stand out from the crowd online? At Webamax, we specialize in turning clicks into customers. From SEO and PPC to social media management and stunning web design, we've got you covered. Boost your online presence and drive real results. Ready to take your business to the next level? Visit Webamax.com. That's WEBIMAX.com for a free digital analysis. Rule the web with Webamax.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Now's the time to save 30% on wedding jewelry, only on BlueNile.com. Make sure your wedding ring is the one with your pick of diamond and lab-grown diamond bands, all hand-finished and graded for excellence. Or surprise her with something blue she'll love for life, like a stunning pair of sapphire earrings. Blue Nile's jewelry experts are available 24/7 to help, from fit questions to style advice. Right now, get up to 30% off at BlueNile.com. BlueNile.com.
It's time for today's Lucky Land horoscope with Victoria Cash.
Life's gotten mundane, so shake up the daily routine and be adventurous with a trip to Lucky Land. You know what they say, your chance to win starts with a spin. So go to LuckyLandSlots.com to play over 100 social casino-style games for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Get lucky today at LuckyLandSlots.com.
Available to players in the U.S., excluding Washington and Michigan. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Cricket is a curiosity. It's more than anything else for people, and there's a reason it's watched by billions and billions of people. It is a very fun, silly sport. It doesn't make any sense. There's so much you have to there's so much nuance to it. There's so much strategy to it. The characters are so colorful. These, they're the characters in this world are just so colorful. It's not Mark Messier or Jason Bukala or whoever. It's not those kind of guys. Like for us, the hockey media is like, oh my God, Kevin Bieksa is like breaking barriers with the way he talks about hockey, and he would be like the 9,000th most interesting media member in cricket. Like these people are so interesting. They were so excited to talk to someone like me who both had I kind of felt like when Hernan Cortez came to America to the Americas, he like just randomly ran into, or stroke of luck ran into, a Franciscan friar who was shipwrecked in the Yucatan like a decade earlier. And he was that, just by that stroke of luck, was able to have like a translator between him and the Mayan. And I kind of felt like a translator, a middleman for these people coming over, being like, okay, like where am I? What am I doing? And how do Americans talk and feel about the sport, and being like in between it. But the people I met were just so interested in, God, this is a very heavy-handed analogy, but in this new world, right? Like they were interested in how it would be perceived. Who are the kind of people here that already watch it? Me being both from Long Island and a cricket fan, and also in the media, like I was really able to be a conduit, which was a fun experience, and helped me meet these kind of colorful people from all over the place. One of whom is our new friend Adam Collins.
Yes,
who is a broadcaster for SEN, which is a radio station over in Australia, and a TV channel, I believe, too. That he also hosts the Final Word Cricket podcast. I went on that show once, and then he did they do a daily episode for all the World Cup matches, and his one after Canada versus Ireland was very special to Islander fans because of the way he spoke about two former Islanders, one who is beloved and one who's not. And what was great about Adam, and I'm going to talk about this more on an anxiety episode, because I do think it gives credence to something we've always said about Islander fans and our community, and that we do a lot of things right. Like we are like this is pure fandom. There's nothing plastic about being an Islander fan. There's nothing kind of conjured up in a boardroom.
There's no casuals. You're
Yes,
you're either in all the way or you're not in at all.
right. And so when I first met Adam, he was asking whatever the local questions and such, and I was explaining about, I'm an Islander fan, and what do you do? And I host this Islander podcast as well. It's called Islander Anxiety, which he loved. And I told him that our previous episode, our most immediate episode, was about an hour just devoted to, maybe more, I can't remember how long we talked about it, devoted to the our biggest rival, the New York Rangers, getting eliminated from the playoffs, and that it's always one of our most like well received episodes because we hate them, despise them, and that got him hooked on the Islanders. That kind of philosophy of not wanting to see your rivals, the hatred, the spite, all of that, and
not just us. Every Islanders fan feels that way about the Rangers.
Exactly.
Everyone.
And that's what I was saying. Like this is a fan base built on that kind of passion. It's just it might not be politically correct in this day and age of sports where you're not. It feels like that kind of stuff is going by the wayside, which is so sad. But because we root for stories, not teams. We root for players, not teams. Like, no, we don't. We root for my team, and I root against the teams that I hate. That's what fandom is all about. For some reason, that comes off as irrational to a lot of people, but fandom is irrational. And I think he understood right away, like, oh, this is a fan base full of fans. It's not. That's what it is. So he immediately was hooked on the Islanders. Gave him a hat, and he was very into his. I think the thing that stuck out to him the most is he was kind of just doing like research and reading about the Islanders, and he stayed in Uniondale in an Airbnb, so right in the shadow of the Coliseum. He was reading about the player that we drafted before, Victor Hedman, in 2009, his return to Nassau Coliseum with the Maple Leafs, and he was reading about how we obviously booed, heckled, and threw stuff at him, but we also booed during the tribute video.
Yeah,
and he was like, that is just such a great detail. And I was that is what makes Islander fans special. And I know that this podcast is supposed to be not about the Islanders, but I have to do it here. Like that's it right there. Like we are that deep with this team that like you could be showing John Tavares doing charity work on this TV, but he told us to go fuck off. So we're going to tell him to go fuck off right now. And that's how we act here. Like, that's just what it is. Yeah.
And the fact that they definitely put those clips in there to kind of try and quell the booing, and it did not work. That's really funny. But well, again, I feel like, I get what the gentleman from South Africa was saying about, how this was trying to grow the game and sell the game to a new audience. And I get all that. But at the end of the day, right now, this was an experiment. And I think I would say it was pretty successful. And if anything, there has definitely been an exchange of ideas. Like, yes, this could happen here in the States. Yes, there's an audience here in several different places where people will want to see this. But also for the incoming journalists and the incoming players, maybe not Virat Kohli, who had a bad time on Long Island, but, for other people, they get to see what it's like here and kind of experience that and, maybe come away with an appreciation for certain things. And in the case of this one, Adam Collins, cricket journalist, we got to get him on an anxiety now, because now I'm intrigued by this guy. He's come to understand Islanders fans a little bit more, and, the Islanders have one extra fan in Australia and kind of paying attention. I wouldn't want to watch those games because I can't imagine what time they are the day they're going to be on TV.
The good news is he lives in London, so I'm very excited about the potential of, one of my missions in this whole experience was to make, the Dallas Cowboys, they're known as America's team, right?
Right.
I want to make the Islanders cricket's team. I want the traveling cricket circus to just be New York Islander fans. And Adam is like very well respected. People in that community, people seem to just gravitate towards him.
Yeah.
And I think that he'd be a great spokesperson in that small community to turn them into Islander fans.
Well, there you go.
I told him we'd get him on an episode of Islanders Anxiety. I told him that I would talk to people at the team to send him a care package.
Sure. Oh my God.
Get him all set up. But and he was saying that he wants to come over next year or next season to catch a game. And I'm hopeful that it would be I don't know if John Tavares will still be on the Maple Leafs, but whatever team he's on, I want to bring him to that game and let him see what happens when John Tavares steps on the ice for the first time in a game against the New York Islanders.
Well, we got a question on our last mailbag about like what movie we would make or a documentary. I don't know why we didn't say that, although I not so much the whole Tavares experience, because again, as we joked at the time, it was turned into an off-Broadway play, but the return game, like that really is that's your movie there. It's like the whole setup, and then the last hour of the movie is just that game.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like, you know what, we could I think we could make one, because I don't think you and I aren't video editors by any chance, but I think we know enough people who are there and kind of get the point of it, and we can find clips on YouTube that we can use legally or something, and maybe we'll just have to make that documentary on our own. Maybe
long as it isn't like that hokey shit that Channel 12 did that time with
exactly.
Don't do that.
You know what's crazy is one of the people they had like a podcast meetup, and I met some people down in Long Beach, and one of the folks that I met down there was a English expat who lives in Vancouver, and she hosts a Canucks podcast. And I was telling her about Weird Islanders, and that we got to get her on Weird Islanders next season to maybe it could be like a combined episode where she talks about weird Canuck Anthony Beauvillier, and we talk about another Weird Islander. And the first thing that she asked about was that video from News 12, and I was like, it was not great, but then we made up for it very quickly, like a couple hours later when he stepped on the ice for warmups and there was a snake thrown at him. So,
well, the counter is that guy who's like, New York Islanders, baby, often replicate, never duplicated. That guy. That's the awesome component to that whole thing. But give me her email or whatever. I'll make sure she's on the list for next year for Weird Island. Thanks for listening to this free sample of our latest episode of Country Club Atmosphere. To hear the full episode about Mike's adventures at the T20 Cricket World Cup tournament in Eisenhower Park, log on to patreon.com/IslandersAnxiety, sign up for our Country Club tier, and you can listen to that Country Club episode and all of the past Country Club episodes where we talk about pizza, eBay, music, you name it. So sign up today, and thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Often imitated, never duplicated. New York Islanders, baby, we're back with a vengeance and we're coming for everybody. And what you gonna do when the New York Islanders run wild on you, baby?